in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60 orange. We own it. We own it. Check it.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Kill.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones, throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket, don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. They'll set up to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there. But it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings! It's their quarterback. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now he'll pull it down. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of field. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Pilot, 64, weak. Let's go right here now. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Joker, 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 Joker. X3, 218, chopper.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And it's fielded at the 34. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Diggs has it. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. for the third time here in this half. It's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting put.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Slam, slam, slam.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. He'll field this at the 5. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any...
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Next to score, Vikings 35, Golden Eagles nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off with great anticipation. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 18-yard line.
60 Pittsburgh. Now watch run, watch run. Watch that, watch that, watch that. 6-6, pull it high. Twist. Kill. Hard. Let go.
They'll run here with Robinson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw here. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Ready
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time we have to leave the
booth. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now Cook. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, it's Robinson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop the throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more.
Vikings 49, Golden Eagles nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25. And to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. Kill, kill, kill. Go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Brandon, these cornerbacks had their hands full all afternoon long, but they finally get a measure of revenge as he gets himself in a nice spot. He's able to get two hands on the football and pick it off.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming.
Let go.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, it's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Check 49, check 49. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Check 9, check 9. Smooth. Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Diggs. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 48 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
On first down, Robinson. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Back to the ground, this time Cook. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Let him know, let him know.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Big gas.
Hey, orbit. Big rip.
Now back to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. First target, first catch, and a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. They run. Robinson. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
25,
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands up.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had a share of troubles in this one.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
94.
Single.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On fourth down, Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo! Ready?
They're going to look to throw. He's got Smith here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today. Yeah,
just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The offense on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Off play action. Eason. It's caught. Jones. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. There he goes, right side. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
41's the mic.
2.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Left side caught by Diggs. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Check, hey, lock it. Deep dribble.
They'll run again here with Robinson. They find some open field here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Let's go, D.
Back to the air on second down. Eason flushed out right. And he's good. And he coughed it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
64, weak.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
At their own 32-yard line.
Ready, set.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me,
and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home